Aishwarya's parents walked into the coroner's court clutching one of their favourite photos of her. Inside, they sat quietly as emergency department nurse Tani Vining recounted events in April last year when the 7-year-old died from undiagnosed sepsis. Giving evidence via video link, Ms Vining described her role that night as the waiting room nurse as an impossible task, doing the jobs of 4 people. She did spend about 14 minutes assessing Aishwarya and taking her observations, and she said in her clinical judgment the little girl was suffering a viral infection. She planned to follow up the girl's care but got called away for an emergency. As a junior nurse, I wouldn't say no to anything. There was pressure to just keep going and going, she told the inquest. About an hour later, she filled in the paperwork, recording there was no level of parental concern. She said she did that because they seemed reassured, which is why I scored them a 0. Ms Vining said in a perfect world she would have stayed in the waiting room and monitored Aishwarya, but at the time the department was under enormous pressure. We were short-staffed, there was no one to escalate to, no senior staff. I did the best I could with what I had. At one point in her evidence, Tani Vining broke down. She described the case as tragic and said it had affected her a lot, and she was sorry for what Aishwarya's family had been through. Ms Vining said since Aishwarya's death, the number of ED staff had almost doubled, and there were now 3 nurses assigned solely to the waiting room. Later, ED clerk Rebecca Newton-Kremers told the inquest because of the pressures that night, it was one of the hardest shifts she'd done in her 13 years in the job. Joanna Manar, ABC News.